Yo, what's good everybody? Today we're going to be talking about Assassin's Creed Memory Corridors and/or, Memory Corridors / Confessions, right? That's the main topic of this video. Before I get into anything other than that, I just want to, give a quick, huge shout out to people who have been supporting the channel recently. It means a lot. Keep it up, guys. I'm saying if you comment on videos, I'll definitely be able to interact with you guys more than just talking, as I am right now. But of course, people like Waffle, it says, his username OO, but appreciate you, Waffle, for, commenting, pretty active on the channel, obviously, as well as someone like Goku-san, also very, very active, and I appreciate that to the fullest, and as well as Bless, and among others, City Main, the list goes on and on, but mainly the people who have been, commenting a lot recently are those three that I mentioned, and I definitely appreciate you guys for, supporting, and yeah, like I said already, to interact, definitely leave comments, don't be afraid to, speak your mind. I'm always, reading, always replying. Any support is definitely appreciated, definitely helps the channel grow, all that stuff, likes, dislikes, comments, shares, everything you can think of, it all helps out, of course. So if you're one of those people who feel like you want to comment, but maybe afraid, I don't know, any other reasons, but just don't be afraid, just leave a comment on whatever videos you want to, and I'll be glad to get into any type of conversation with you, necessary. So with that being said, into the memory corridors and confessions of previous Assassin's Creed games. So to start, if you do not know anything about these memory corridors, black box, confessions, whatever people call them, if you have no clue what they are and what I'm talking about, you definitely want to peep this right now.
We thought you were dead. You could not even save your own son. You are no one. Bayek of nothing. Father to nobody!
And here is your nobody! May the Hidden One greet you. The Lord of the Duat awaits.
So yeah, now that you've seen that, I'm sure 100% of people watching this, you've definitely seen it before, because you pretty much have to finish the game. Pretty much all the games have it except for Odyssey. Unity has something similar to this, but not really. But Odyssey pretty much went away and just, destroyed it completely and just didn't even include it in their games at all, which pretty much shows that that game wasn't an Assassin's Creed title at all, because it pretty much, all of the staples of Assassin's Creed were non-existent in that game. But besides that point though, those are, memory corridors or confessions that I'm talking about. So to explain, everybody knows what they are, of course, and they've all seen them. But these confessions are basically, once you assassinate your target, it's basically a little, frozen in time period, for lack of a better word, I guess, where pretty much the enemy or the person that you assassinated, has his or her few last moments to basically, fess up and talk about why he or she did these things and what's the logic and what are the, his or her explanations behind his or her wrongdoings, of course. And those are a lot of his or hers, but I guess you can kind of understand what I'm saying here. And yeah, that's pretty much what they are. They just have their last few moments to talk to, let's say, Ezio, Altair, Bayek, whoever, right? Edward, etc. Tell them why they did the things they did and whether they feel like they were justified by doing it or if they felt like they were just a pawn, in someone's game, basically. And of course, it was definitely unrealistic and historically inaccurate, but it's what made us feel like we were still in the Animus, of course, and it made us feel like we were still searching for answers, and it even brought out the life in the characters that definitely never existed in certain games, such as Liberation and Odyssey, of course. But those memory corridors and those interrogations or black boxes or confessions, whatever you call them, they definitely brought the life out of the characters, and it definitely made it, shine light on the voice acting in the game and how good it actually was throughout the years, as well as the performance capture in the newer games, such as Syndicate and Origins, because those are amazing. When you see those memory corridors, obviously the cutscenes in those games, since they're newer, especially in Black Flag as well, they're all performance captured, of course, and it just shows, how great the team, can be at times when certain developers who have no idea how to make an Assassin's Creed, when they don't touch the games, you can really see how great Assassin's Creed really is and how great it always was and how great it can be. Now, given that you see all the greatest, memory corridor scenes and all these confession scenes, definitely want to get into talking about how they can implement these into Valhalla, which is, of course, a Norse mythology game, and I think this could definitely be the best one yet, especially since you're dealing with a big Viking guy, of course. I mean, of course, the male isn't canon, but I mean, I feel like it is though. I feel like Eivor as a male is canon because, I mean, if he wasn't, then why is it that when they show the art for the game, you really only see, the male Eivor? But that's, besides the point, of course. But I mean, yeah, I feel like confession scenes with a Viking and, a big axe or whatever your weapon is. But of course, ideally, the weapon would be a huge axe. And I mean, I'm just imagining, Eivor in the White Room or Dark Room, whatever they decide to do this year, which is also what I'm hyped for. Because I mean, Ubisoft, they're known for surprising us with amazing things that are so nostalgic and that are just true to the real Assassin's Creed fans, right? So I'm just thinking of, Eivor in a huge, dark or White Room, whatever, and he just has his axe and he's talking to one of the kings that the Vikings, of course, slayed in their time because they love, killing kings that rule over the land, of course. So of course, I'm just thinking of him just bludgeoning, one of the kings, and while they're talking about what they did, and they're probably justifying their actions. Maybe they have slaves in the region, wherever region they are in. Of course, they probably have slaves in the region, and the Vikings are fighting for freedom and homelands, of course. And I mean, that's just what I'm thinking about. I mean, they could do whatever they want with that, of course, but as long as there's one scene where Eivor is just bludgeoning somebody's head in with an axe, that would be just so wholesome, and it'll really make you feel like you're a Viking, of course. That's pretty much what I've been doing a lot of the times on Origins in my second playthrough. Pretty much just using an axe to finish off certain enemies. Pretty much just doing that in anticipation for Valhalla. Because I know for a fact that'll definitely be the starter weapon most likely for Eivor. Because I'm sure that's what they were dealing with at that time, of course. Because of course I know you can choose, dual blades or dual tomahawks or hatchets, whatever. But I'm sure the starter weapon would have to be some type of heavy, powerful weapon. And that's definitely one of the things out of the many things I'm excited for, but that's definitely one of the outlying ones. Getting those finishers, if they can have those, that'd be so amazing. And I mean, I know for a fact they will have them, but I mean, it's always cool talking about it though. Alright, and that's pretty much it. Don't really want to waste too much more of your guys' time. But if you made it this far though, make sure you hit that like, dislike, or sub. And I mean, if, like I said earlier in the video, feel free to leave a comment as well, because we're getting pretty close to 200 subs. I thought we would hit it, a few days back. But I mean, hey, not all things go to plan. But I mean, hey, if you guys gonna be out, if you're new to the channel, definitely subscribe. Because like I said again, we're about like 8 or 7 subs away. So yeah, if you went on to enjoy this, ratings are always appreciated. And also, let me know in the comments if you're ready to subscribe. And also, let me know if you're hyped for this next Assassin's Creed coming out holiday 2020. And yeah, that's it from me. See you guys in the next one. Peace out.